All right, so here this morning with Megan to talk about mocks for unit test cleanup. Started the morning waking up going, oh, I've got an hour and 20 minutes to get ready. And then my wife was like, hey, don't forget about the time change. And oh, I have 19 minutes now to get down to the computer and get set up and get started. And we made it, thankfully. So as I said, I've got Megan here. She is going to set up her live share, and she's going to host on her side. And then I'll pull it up on my side to talk about these mocks. That way she'll have all the code on her branch ready for when she wants to continue the work. So I'm going to get her to the point where she's comfortable with moving forward with this herself. So Megan, as soon as you've got a link, if you want to pass it in the chat.
Yeah, okay. I think. How do I get the link for this now? Because I've started the session. Oh, here we go.
It should auto copy the link. As soon as you see
Okay.
the notification down bottom right, it should already be in your clipboard.
Okay. Let me just post it into the chat here.
And then I'll put up on mine because we're going to join. And copy that. Paste there. And so now we are looking at, or we will be, Megan's code space. All right, there's her terminal up and running. Do you have a branch open for this work? So this should be HTTAT-22.
I don't think so. And usually, I mean, I've never used or done branches the way that you're doing with the click, and typing it in, or I've always just used the terminal to.
You can use the terminal, that's fine.
But I don't recall how to open new branches. But how did you do it when you were clicking through it though? That's something that VS Code does.
Do you have well, you can do it in VS Code. Do you have the GitHub desktop installed?
Oh, I don't actually.
Okay, that's what I'm using. This is
GitHub.
Okay. This is GitHub desktop. Now one of the ones I know, I do have a couple of good where are my working notes? Oh, my working notes aren't showing. All right. Hang on one second. I have this really cool cheat sheet that somebody created a while back. To see if I can remember where I hid it. It might be under tooling. Let's take a look there real fast. GitHub. No, that's
also
not it.
Real quick question. Since I made a fork of the main branch from the repo you had, do I have access to all those same branches too? Like all the ones that we've done so far that are numbered?
If you forked, yeah, you will have you won't have access to our branches. You can still create a branch of your own.
Oh, okay.
And when you go to, you can merge that back into our code base. If you clone the current repository, since you're a contributor on the repository, you should be able to clone it locally.
Okay, yeah.
And then from there, you're working in the same repo that the rest of us are.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember where I've got those notes. No. And I have them in here. I know I do. Why does it have a workflow? That's odd. Oh, it's for my badges. Okay. That's for something else. Let's see. It's on backend. I don't think it's in career. Nope, that's something else. Sorry, I've lost these notes. Give me a second.
That's all right. I'm also
automate clean code console. No, that's going to be in front end. No, it's not there.
Okay.
I have a lot of really good GitHub notes. No, I'm not finding training. No. Wouldn't have been in training. I would have thought it would have been tooling. But it should have been under here, and it should have been, oh, maybe I just linked to them. Oh, look at that. All the time I'm looking right here. So hang on, opens a new page. That's not the cheat sheet I want. Open a new tab. That's the one I want. This is my favorite Git cheat sheet, and I love it because it has everything I need. Additionally, I like the fact that it has a lot of open space. So when I start a new project, I print a new one of these. Then when I get all those every project I've ever been on generally has some odd specifics for that client.
Okay.
And this one leaves white space. So if you print it out, then you just, for each particular client, you write your little weird little notes on it, and then you have them here for their specific use cases. So you get clone to pull it down. Cloning the local clone remote. The Git branch, create a new branch, Git checkout-b branch. So that's going to create your new branch. What you might want to do is, switch to master, do a Git pull, make sure you've got everything. Then you create your new branch, Git checkout-b in the name of your branch. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, Git clone remote repository. Oh, so okay. I think I've cloned my fork of your repo though. Is that different?
It's a little, but it should still work.
Okay.
I haven't done that in a really long time, but I'm sure somebody's got something on the open source side on how to merge in a branch you created in your clone of it.
Okay. File name, click add. So I tried listing all the branches, but it's only giving me those there in the terminal.
Okay, so if we look back at the cheat sheet, so branch. So you should be able to say just get branch, I believe, and it lists the branches, right?
Git branch.
Yeah, so you're on main. So just do a git pull. Oh, wait, since you cloned it, you may not, or since you branched off of it, a git pull isn't going to pull main. What we need to do for you is we need to clone the actual repository.
Okay, from yours then.
From mine, yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
You're a contributor, so you should be able to go to the project in the browser. Let me go into it in mine so that people see what we're doing here. And how to take a test. And then up here, there should be, this is what you need to copy to clone by HTTPS.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and if you have GitHub Desktop installed, you can just click. What I really like is you click that, it opens it up, it pulls it if you're ready to go. So the GitHub Desktop is a nice advantage, but if you really want to learn the Git commands, should probably do it the other way.
Okay, should I exit out of this VS Code then, since I need to be in a different directory to?
Yeah, you probably should.
Okay, I'm going to close it.
So we'll restart the live share once you get the right place. Yeah, this is okay. I mean, this is learning as much as anything else. Yeah, you don't want to be on your fork of the project because then you're not getting all the updates that happen in the project. So
yeah, that's what I thought.
If you forked it last week, you have last week's code.
Okay.
So fork is a great idea when a code base is mature, but we're changing so fast right now. You want to be working right off the main project.
Okay.
And yeah, you are in as a contributor, so you have rights to be able to pull that, to be able to clone it directly.
Okay.
I'm talking to kind of fill a gap here too.
No, you're good. Okay, I've got it.
Pull my VS Code back up. We probably got kicked out. Yep, we did. Back to join. That's fine. So when you're ready, just copy paste that link again. See, all kinds of learning today. Did it clone?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, we'll see it here in a minute, won't we? All right, new link. Opening the workspace.
Oh, okay. This is, yeah, I can see all the different branches this time.
So it looks like I'm one level up in your code,
Oh,
but that's okay. That isn't going to hurt anything. So do you have the branch open? Have you created the Git checkout dash B?
Checkout dash.
Git checkout dash B, sorry. Dash B space, and it'll be something like HTTAT-22.
22, okay.
And then whatever you want to put after that. So this is, we're actually going to be working on test mocks.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, so we've got that branch. So now we can actually do some work because we're on the branch. So I'm going to jump down in the front end, down in the source. Let's go down into the app. And I want to take a quick peek at what we do need to mock. I don't think there's anything on the services test. And you're basically going to have to walk through and check to see if any of them need mocking. And here we got the HTTP client testing module that's already its own testing module. The API handler service is what we're testing. So no big deal there. Okay. So this service doesn't need anything changed. Oh, you haven't done an npm install, which is why this is complaining.
All right, for me.
Yeah, you'll do that at the in the front end folder or below. So you're probably 2 levels.
Oh,
yeah,
front
go
end.
into front end. You're 1 level too high. There you go. Let's take a look at features, and I think here, yeah, this is the first place we'll need it. So this grade level selection, I know, is one that has something else. I believe has something else brought in. No, it does not. So this is what triggers one. Okay. Yeah, so header doesn't have any because header isn't bringing anything in. So header should be really simple. But grade level is going to trigger one. So I'm going to leave that open for a second as I step through these. Home component. Yeah, this is where the first round of it started to happen in the next round. So see how we're importing home component and then grade level component. So to run this test, we're actually importing and using the grade level selection component.
Okay. Oh,
The whole component and all of its functionality. What we want to do is mock the grade level selection component so that we're then isolating down to testing just the home component.
Okay.
Okay. And mocks in this sense, this is a little different than you would normally do in a Jasmine set of tests. The Jasmine test library in and of itself does not have mocks. Okay. What we're doing is we're creating a component, we're naming it a particular way. And when we bring it in, because of the HTML attributes, we're going to trick this component into using our mock grade level selection. Okay. So in that sense, we're creating a mock. We're not using a test-based mock. And so what I'll usually do is in the spec tools, I'll create a new folder. In this case, we're going to be creating a mock component. Okay, and then inside that mock component, we're going to create our spec, our test file. And there's 2 parts to what we do here that make things work cleanly. The new file we're going to create, and we're just going to call it mock grade level selection component, and here's one of the first tricks, is we have to make it a spec file, and it's TypeScript. Okay, by making it a spec file, then what we've done is we've told the system, don't test this. Right?
Okay.
We can still import it.
Oh,
It is a spec. There aren't going to be any expectations inside it. So our code will be quite comfortable with ignoring it, basically. Okay. And what we need is we need to do a fake grade level selection. And we really only need a couple of pieces out of this. So I'm going to copy the whole component over and I'll show you how we strip that down. Okay. We don't need the config. We don't need the grade detail because we're not going to use those. We need the component. We need the selector. The selectors are the big trick in here. Okay. I'm going to change this to a template instead of the template URL, and we're going to get rid of the style because we don't need any styling on this. This is going to be a fake component. Now, if this is a template, you would normally put it inside backticks because you need multiple lines, but we don't need anything fancy here. What I always end up putting in is an H1 title / H1. Okay, so this is what will get injected in place of the original component. All right, and we're going to rename this a mock grade level selection component. And because we have the selector, we can change the name. Okay, I'm going to copy that because we need to reuse that. Now, if you're mocking a component that has some level of complexity, I think I said in one of the earlier sessions, and I'm pretty sure you were there, I talked about how we can do inputs and we can do outputs from a component.
okay.
Those become your attributes. Okay. This one has no attributes. So what's inside here is really easy. If you had an input or output you want to duplicate on that on the mock, it doesn't have to work the same way. It just has to accept the same values. Okay. So since we don't have any, this becomes something like this.
Oh,
There's our mock.
okay.
That's a mock component. Doesn't do a lot. We're mocking the original component. We don't want it to do a lot, right?
Oh,
We want
okay.
to keep it really simple. And apparently the can't find name config grade level detail, which we're not using. We took those out. Okay, so that's just the red line is just because it's behind in our checking. So I'm going to save that, and I copied this because we're going to need that over here in home. Okay, because home brought in grade level selection. So what we want to bring in is not grade level selection, but then we can import it basically the same way. It's the mock from, and let's see, up one level slash. So from home component, that takes us up to pages. And then now we should be up high enough to do shared. And component. And before I finish typing that, I'm going to change this because that should be components. It should be plural. That's going to really yell at me if I change it after I save the file. There we go. So all of our mocks can go in that folder. Components slash mock. And it's trying to get that big one. We don't want that. Grade level selection. It's making me type it all. The helpers are really nice unless you're remote.
Right.
There we go. So that should be the whole path, assuming I spelled everything right. And that'll catch up on getting that fixed. So now the really nice part is all we have to do is change this to this. So now we're using the mock. Okay. And since this is a declaration like this, I tend to like to clean these up a little bit. We have some linting that's coming that'll make that easier. And since that's a mock, I'll push it down one that's separate from the home component. And this unit test now should work exactly the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
What are we complaining about? Can't find. Now we did use source app features this way, so I wonder if we can change that here to source app shared. Maybe it will stop grumping about that. Come on, catch up to us. This takes a little longer because I'm on my side and it has to pass it over to your side and back again. Oh, come on, change that typing declaration. All right. So I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't have. It's not a shared terminal. So do I try and run an ng test? Is it still complaining on that line?
Okay.
An import cannot end in a TS extension. Oh.
Do we have to?
Just have to take that off. Should be all we have to do. Because
Okay.
notice our import doesn't have the TS on the component.
Right. Okay. Should I still run the test? No.
Hang on 1 second. Can't find the module source app shared component mock grade level selection component spec or its corresponding type declaration. Why is it saying that? Because we originally had, and it was, oh, you moved files on me.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. That only becomes a problem when you're mid typing something. Okay. So we were looking at home component TS. It's not a problem with home component. It's just having trouble. Oh, I know what it is. It's not shared components, it's shared spec tools components. So let's change that back to source app. So there we go. And it's shared / spec tools component. There we go.
Okay.
Now you can save and run the tests.
Okay.
And we should still see passing tests. The difference is we've now isolated this out. It doesn't have to load the real grade level selection component. And I think actually this is the only, no, this is one of 2 of these we have to do. I'll show you where the other one is here when we're done with the home. And if you feel comfortable, we'll let you do some typing. You tell me if you want me to walk through with you again, we can.
I could also do typing.
Okay. Well, let's see how the tests run first. Well, it's doing something.
If it's just
I love watching the little green dots.
Oh, there it goes.
No, that's sometimes it takes a second to figure out what it's doing. So we have 11 successful tests. So this worked.
Nice.
Okay. Now we are not using grade level selection component anywhere in this test, so we can delete that whole line. Right.
Okay.
And then the other place we've got it, and we might have to do a slightly different change, is in the spec tools. We're bringing in grade level selection component too. The difference is we're not using the component here. Okay. In fact, it's through the routing this is coming up.
Okay.
Okay. So what's happening is it's actually through the routing. If we look at our route, it's going home. So we're actually loading the home component, which is loading the grade level selection component. So what we probably want to do is mock the home component, which again doesn't have any imports or exports, and bring in the mock of the home component into the app component spec instead of the grade level selection component.
Okay.
You see how those are nested? Okay. So in our spec components, why don't we create a home component mock?
Okay.
I'll let you drive on this one.
Sure.
So we'll create that mock home component.spec.ts file. And the nice part is you could right click, copy that mock grade level selection.
Yeah.
And copy paste it. I mean, seriously, the only thing you have to change is the selector and the title. There's not much to it, right?
Okay.
So copy paste it. Oh, you just created the new one. So just copy paste the code. Yep. Put it into the new one.
Okay.
All right. So then the selector needs to be a let's see what the selector is for home quote. I'll take a look at that right here. It needs to be app-home.
Oh, app dash home.
Dat minus.
Oh,
M. You had it right the first time. Yep,
Mhm.
home. And then you're going to make that a mock home component to replace grade level selection in the middle of that
Oh, okay.
there. Home component. Yep. Save that file. And
Okay.
then in the app component spec TS file, in the test file, we're going to do an import below the grade level selection component.
Okay.
So in here, and squiggle brackets, and this is where you're going to type in the mock home component. There you go. Awesome. It helped you. Yeah. So then anywhere you see grade level selection component, so like you do here on 15, change that to mock home component.
Okay.
Now you should be able to delete this grade level selection component, delete that whole line. And let's save and run our tests and see if that fixed it.
Okay.
So fixed is relative here because we shouldn't see any change in our tests.
Okay.
Okay, because it's navigating home, because it knows that you have the home component. Oh, well, this might not fix it.
Oh.
Now as I think about it, this one might break, and I'll explain to you why in a second. We might have to actually use the mock grade level selection component on this one.
Okay.
Let's let it run and see what happens. Actually, the test's passed. Okay. Wow. All right. I'm kind of weirded out by that. Did we have anything else in that run? I didn't see anything unusual. All right. Well, let me explain my thought process on this, because what I
Okay.
think happened is what should be happening is we got the router outlet, so it's navigating home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the route actually uses the real home component.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if in using, I don't know why the test would have worked that way, because what should have happened is this should be using the real home component, which is using the real grade level selection code. So we should have seen a warning on the grade level selection.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking to be more accurate, because it's using that routing module nesting through them, maybe rather than the mock home component, we use the mock grade level selection component. The trouble there becomes is every time we add something to home, this one's going to have to be updated. Whereas if this, let's leave this in for now, and if somebody sees a problem with it, then you and I can work with them to get that straightened out.
Okay.
Because what was happening if we took that out completely is you'd get all kinds of little warnings. So let's comment out. I'm gonna do it here. Let's comment out line 14. Rerun
Okay.
your tests now. I want to see what happens without it there
right.
at all. I want to see if the warning popped up that we had to put that in for in the first place. If it clears it, we'll put this back in. If it shows up, we'll put this back in and we'll leave it there. It didn't do quite what I expected. Oh, it's not. Okay. So this one is not complaining about the grade level selection. Interesting. Let's try one other thing. Do an ng serve. And if you do not server, just serve.
Sorry.
And if you do -- open space, there you go. That'll actually open it in your browser. I want to make sure everything looks right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised those tests didn't give us any warnings. Actually, I'm surprised they didn't give us any warnings. So I want to make sure we didn't break anything by putting the new components in. It could be that the router is injecting the home HTML, and because it's injecting the home HTML, that the mock is working correctly, but when we took the mock out, it should have stopped working.
Okay. I've got the
should have like
the DOM up. Yeah.
8 purple buttons.
Right. Yeah, it looks
right. Okay.
good.
So I'm just going to say, let's put that back in and leave it that way. It seems to work.
Okay.
I think that's okay. I'm kind of surprised, but If it's working, I'm not going to complain about it. We might have to tell folks to adjust that later on in home specifically.
Okay.
Or sorry, in the app component and how it handles home. So my guess in watching this, I don't know why we didn't get the warning when this was commented out. Maybe the file wasn't saved on your side, potentially. So when I do this, I see that it's saying it's saved, but then it kind of disappears on me. So I don't know if it's saved or not. If you make sure it's saved and rerun the tests, we should have gotten a warning.
Okay. I saved again just to for good
Make
measure.
sure. Okay. Yeah, so just run ng test one more time. Really surprised we didn't see that warning. That, I know we were seeing that at one point. And it is possible that it is cleanly picking up. Huh. Well, I'm going to say that my guess is that the app component isn't bringing anything else in. That maybe this the original grade level selector component was put in here in an attempt. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, clear some. My guess would be it was put in an attempt to clear a set of warnings that were popping up. That they don't necessarily, it doesn't necessarily need to be there because that HTML doesn't contain anything but router outlet. My guess is it's not even using router, that it's not bringing any other components in. We can prove something's off by taking this one out and run your tests. And now if we take the one on the home component out, we know that grade level selector component is in the HTML. So let's rerun the test now and see if that warning pops up. Because now we have nothing to tell the test suite what to do with grade level selection component. I'm really hoping there we go. That's what we were trying to clear. So it's possible somebody saw that and put the mock or put the original grade level select component into the app component spec. It didn't clear it up, so they put it into here as well. So that's where our mock's strength is, that we've now told it what the known element is, saying, hey, this is a known element. We know what it is, but we're going to give you this mock to use in its place. And that, since we've changed that, if you rerun the test now, you should see that the warning disappears.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it sounds like we're pretty close to done. So now you can commit your code.
Okay.
And once you've committed your code, you can push it up and open a PR. You know how to do all that?
Yeah. I can just push while I'm in this branch, right? I don't have to.
You can, yes.
Okay.
Because this branch should be tied directly to the main repository.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna. Do you want a copy of the path to this cheat sheet?
Yes, please.
I love this cheat sheet. That's one of my favorites. I don't say that about many things, but this one, yeah, that was a cool one. All right, so I am going to hop out of the VS Code.
Oh, it says to push the current branch and set the remote as upstream.
Has no upstream branch to push. Okay, so just copy that git push set upstream origin. Oh, it's without it. You don't have a tracking stream. That's all. A lot of times it'll auto set remote stuff.
Oh, okay.
So now that you've done that, I should be able to go in here and should see 14 branches instead of 13 branches. And I can come in here and I can look at all branches. And we should be able to see there's the HTTAT-22.
Okay.
And I can click on that, which actually opens up the whole branch. It's one commit ahead of main. So what I want to do is I want to follow and I want to see the commit. If I follow that commit, then I can see all your files, what you changed. So I took that blank line out there. We went with the mock home component. We went with the mock grade level selection component. We added 2 mock files. Cool.
Cool.
All right. So I just verified that you did directly push that up to our repository through that branch.
Okay.
Is that awesome or what?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So now you got to do is open a pull request.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that, you can do that. I do believe I haven't done it from the Git command line. But we've got this branch
Okay.
that we can create the pull request on. If I create the pull request, I can't review it. Okay. So here's let me give you the path since I just happen to be there.
Compare and pull request.
So that second link that I just posted will take you right here. Because if I open this, then I can't review it. And you can't review it because you pushed the commit.
Yeah, so it's okay. I'm in open a pull request and it has
So it's
all the description, type of change, all of that, right? And I just fill that out. Okay.
Yeah, just fill it out, check the boxes, and checking the boxes is you'll have 2 square brackets with a space in between. Take a space out and put an X in there.
Okay.
Okay. So the things that we've done, we reran the tests. You pulled a clean branch, so there's no need to do a git merge or a git merge main or anything like that. Those are the kind of things I always kind of double check. You spun it up and ran it. We ran tests, so we know everything's working. So yeah, you can verify that we ran unit tests. You can verify that we, all the downstream and all that kind of stuff that asks questions about, we did those.
Okay.
Cool. And then once this is open, I'll let it do is I'll let it float till our meeting on Tuesday, and probably before the meeting on. Do I have a meeting scheduled on Tuesday? I think I do.
I think so.
I'll double check. Yes, good. So I'll let it float and let folks potentially review. Now, what you'll want to do once you have it open, is I'm going to pull up this HTTAT-9 to show you. What he's done is he's added me as a reviewer.
Oh, okay.
He's never added anybody else. So if you click that gear, you'll get that list of all the other people that you could say, hey, I need to add you guys.
Okay.
So in this case, he's down to like 1 or 2 minor things. So I'm going to open this one up to the team just by adding everybody on. So they'll get those emails saying, hey, there's a PR out here that you could take a look at. So you'll do the same thing. Once you open it up, you can assign it to yourself, which is a nice, easy single click. And then just go through and assign everybody else. Okay, and this was D. Hess.
Yeah, I think it's Dylan. Yeah. So then this type of change, do I consider it? I don't think is it a bug fix? Or
no, this is a new feature.
Okay, new feature.
It's a new feature. It's a non-breaking change. It adds functionality. We're adding functionality to the tests. We're isolating our tests a little bit more is really what we're doing. Okay. Yep. And we have unit tested. And realize that, you change this description here between the description and type of change. You set your type of change. How has it been tested? Okay. So you check unit test. If this is something that you had to, the only way you could test it was manually testing or something like that, you change that description there. Okay. We pulled the code from main, we retested. There are no new bugs that we know about. New and existing unit tests pass. Any dependent changes have been merged and pushed to downstream modules. So you can check all 4 of those.
Okay.
And then you're ready to open it, I think.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I think I did it. I hope so.
I don't know, we're going to find out. And we had 2. All right, I'm going to change 1 minor thing.
Okay.
your description up at the top.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so here's where you'd want the HTTAT-22. It always goes, if you only do one commit, it gives you the title of that one commit. If you do
Oh,
two,
okay.
it goes with the branch name.
Gotcha.
I always clean that up a little bit. That's
Okay.
just my preference. It makes it easier for me to figure out what's going on.
No, that
And
makes
this is where over here on the right, you can assign yourself and you can start adding people that you want to review it.
okay.
At the same time, we should have moved, since we had started working on it, 22. Well, we had it in dev. Okay, so now it's in code review. Okay, and we put that in there. Doesn't matter if it's above or below 9. It's in code review. Look at that. You got code in code review.
Nice.
How's that feel?
Feels good.
Okay. Any questions, concerns,
No, that was fun.
comments?
I like it.
Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed that. It is recorded, so I'm going to stop this record now that I'm thinking about it.